Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this look using the James Charles and Morphe palette. This is my first time using the palette. I stuck with a neutral look because I am going to be going and running some errands, so I wanted to see how I could take this super colorful palette and create a neutral look with it. So if you guys enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below so you don't miss anything else. And if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so the feature of this video is the James Charles palette. I picked this up a couple weeks ago when I went to the Aventura Mall in Miami for the Morphe grand opening, which is also where I got to meet Kathleenlights, and it was incredible meeting her. She's so sweet. Even though I only got like 30 seconds with her, it was still amazing and definitely well worth the trip down there. But anyway, they did have this in stock, so I decided to pick it up. I really wasn't actually going to get it. When I first saw it, it didn't jump out at me, but then I saw some videos with it, and I don't know, it does have like pretty much every color you could need, so I feel like it is like a nice artistry palette, or just a nice palette to reach for if you need a specific color. If this is actually as good as it seems, it may replace a couple other palettes that I have in my collection that have some colors in it, but I have not used this. I think I swatched a shade or two in the store and that was it. So we will be seeing what we can do with this, and I think I am just going to do a more wearable look with this. I know most people have been posting very colorful looks, but I am actually just getting ready for the day, so we're just going to get ready together. So I guess I will start with priming my skin. I'm going to go in with my Marc Jacobs primer, and I will also go in with the Fenty Pro Filter primer in the T-zone area. Just as a disclaimer, my skin has been having some trouble and I'm super dry right around my nose because I still am getting over being sick. So my nose has just been so dry right here, worse than it normally is. So I don't know, I'm going to try to cover everything as best I can, but as you see, definitely having some issues, and it's very frustrating because, it's like my skin starts to get better and I'm thinking I'm finally on the right track for it to just finally be mostly clear, and then boom, all this happens. And I have a feeling a lot of this is just from the holidays and not eating as well as I normally try to. So just please excuse that. We are going to cover it, but first I'm just going to go in with my concealer and kind of spot conceal and prime the lids. Since this is the first time that I'm using this palette, I'm just going to prime the way I normally would, which is with a concealer, and I'll just set that down, and you know the drill. Okay, so I dampened this. I'm actually going to take more concealer. Obviously, you see it did not quite cover all the spots, so I'm just going to take a little bit more. I'm actually going to take a concealer brush to kind of blend it out, since I find that sometimes the padding makes it provide more coverage. As you can see, it's still not perfect, but that's okay. I don't try to really cake on over breakouts just because I feel like a lot of times that makes it look worse, at least in person. So I'd rather just, do my normal routine, and if you can still see it a little bit, it's fine. I'm human, I don't have perfect skin, so that is that. I think I will do my base first since I'm just doing like a neutral look on the eye. So I'm going to be going in with my Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow. I have really been loving this product. It has, honestly, I feel like it's replaced all my other foundations just because I feel like it feels so nice on the skin. I've mentioned this before in other videos, but I've been continuing to use it, and this is the only thing I want to reach for. I don't know, it's not like full coverage or anything, but I usually don't like that anyway. I just feel like it does actually look very luminous and just beautiful. I don't know, I really love this. So I am going to try the technique I did the other day, which was I actually sprayed a little bit of the Tatcha mist on here, which I know seems weird, and blended it out, and honestly it seemed to keep the glow and it made it look good, so might as well give it another try. So I'm just going to first start with a pump of this on the back of my hand, and then I will just spray the brush just a little bit, and then I'll take some on the back of my hand and we'll start to work this into the skin. I don't know if you guys can really tell on camera, but this is half of the face done. You can, like, I've just, you know, blended out the product. You can definitely tell more coverage and more evenness than this side. So I do think that this has like a decent amount of coverage. It's honestly, like, for me, it's perfect. So honestly, the one pump is exactly how much I feel I need to cover my skin, which is great because that means I won't go through this product as fast. But I am going to go ahead and set a little bit with my Smashbox Halo Hydrating Perfecting Powder. I really do like this product, so I'm just going to lightly set over the face. Now we will go in and add some bronzer. And I will be taking my Marc Jacobs Tastic Omega Bronzer. This one, I absolutely love this. And now we will go in with some highlight, and we'll be using the Amreezy. I know I've used this a couple times now, but I just really am enjoying it, so I want to keep using it. So I'm going to take that on a fan brush. And now we will use the Dewy Skin Mist and just spray that all over the face. As you can see, it definitely does have like that dewy look to it. Some of that will kind of just fade away, but I do love the dewy look lately because I feel like it does look better for me personally. Anyway, we are going to now move into what you all want to see, and that is the James Charles palette. One thing I will say that does annoy me, and I'm sure annoys other people, is that the shade names are on this like sheet and not on here. So if I want to know what the shade names are, I have to keep this. And I don't know, even though I don't really follow James Charles too much, I still like to know what the names are, especially for like collabs, because, you know, certain things I know that they name because it relates to them. So it's like I do want to know the names, and for being, you know, doing videos, it is nice to know the shade name. So I'm going to try to hang on to this for as long as I can, but I don't know how long I will manage to keep this. But first I need to set down my lid, so I'm just going to take the shade Canvas, which is this one. It's like just basically my skin tone, so that will be perfect for setting down the lid. I must say, right off the bat, even though that is like my skin color, I can definitely tell that it does have the pigmentation because it totally helped cover up some, like, set down and cover some of the veins on that you can still see through my concealer. So right away, I'm already pretty impressed with that. Obviously, that's just one shade, so we'll have to see how the rest go. I think what's going to be easiest for me is not to hold this up and show you guys each shade. What I will do is insert an image of each shade that I'm using. That way you guys know, because this thing is, I mean, this thing is huge. It's like bigger, way bigger than my head, so it'll be easier for me if I can just set it down. So I think the next shade I'm going to dip in is called Punch Me, which is like a very light brown, and I will start that, work that all over the crease just pretty sloppily, just to start a transition shade. And also, while I was at the Morphe store, I ended up picking up the, I think it's called Babe Fave brush set or something of the sort. I already took it out of the packaging, but it came with all of these eye brushes, which I know I have a million brushes, but I really, after getting the Jaclyn Hill brushes, I love them. I thought maybe I would give some of the other Morphe brushes a chance as well. And you can never have too many eye brushes, I think, especially when you do a lot, you know, your makeup all the time, or even just colorful looks, because, you know, then you don't have to wash them as much. So I'm just going to take one of these and start working that shade Punch Me into the crease. and I'm using the E22. There is a bit of kick up in the pan, but that doesn't really bother me, so I'll probably just like tap it off and then go in with it. And I'll try, let me zoom you guys in. So that is how that shadow is looking so far. I definitely did have to go and dip into the pan several times to get it to the desired color, but that also could be because it is a lighter brown, so you know, to get it to show up as dark as I wanted to on the lid, I had to build it up, which I don't think there's any problem with having to build up colors. I've said it before and I will continue to say it, is that I feel like it does make it easier to work with because you have a chance to like gradually build it to what you want rather than it being like boom, pigment all right in one and then you're stuck trying to blend it out. So personally I don't find an issue with it, and so far the two shades I'm using, they are working pretty good. Next, to kind of deepen up some of the crease, to deepen up the crease a little bit more, I'm going to take the shade T, which is like a darker, almost looks more like a cool tone brown, but I don't know, I really like it, so I want to see how we can deepen the crease and outer corner with that. As I said, I am doing a pretty neutral look because I am having to run some errands and I just want to see how you can take a super colorful palette like this and still get a natural, everyday wearable look. I know he mentioned that he did want this palette to be wearable for people who, you know, can't necessarily wear hot pink out every day. So I think that was awesome that he included the neutral type shades in this palette as well. So I'm just going to take that and kind of build up the outer corner and the crease. So far, I mean, the shadows are blending out really nicely. Again, there is some kick up in the pan, but I think so far they are blending out really nicely. And I really like that color. I know it's just a brown, but there's something different about it that I like compared to other browns I have in my collection. Now dipping back into that other light brown shade, Punch Me again, I just want to go over this and blend everything out. Now I just want to swatch some shimmers for you guys so you can see and so I can see what the pigmentation is like. So the first one I'm going to swatch is called Ring Light. On the finger it already looks really good, so let's see how it swatches on the hand. Definitely has the pigmentation there, so that is good. Next, let's do So Good. It's kind of goldy. Very pretty. And I will say, like, these definitely are not like, you know, Natasha Denona shimmers or even the shimmers in the Anastasia like sultry palette, but I think these kinds of shimmers are nice because they are more on like the wearable side of shimmers, whereas if you have like a super glittery shimmery shade, it makes it harder to incorporate into like an everyday look, at least for me, because I don't go to work with, you know, super crazy makeup. So I do appreciate having shimmers that are more like this, that just, you know, like they shine but they're not glittery, so I like that. Let's also swatch the shade Wig, and let's see how that one looks. Also very pretty. So I think what I want to do is I might take a little bit of Wig and So Good. This is Wig, that's So Good. And maybe focus this on the outer and this on the inner part. We will see how that goes. We will test it using a brush first, but like 9 times out of 10 when it comes to shimmery shades, I like my finger better, but I want to give it a go with the brush and see where we get. I definitely don't think the brush did a bad job applying it. I did go over it with a little bit on my finger, but I think the brush did pretty decent, so I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. Now I do want to go back in with that shade T and just blend out the outer edge of this. Now I do want to take a little bit of that So Good shade and maybe pop that on the inner part of the lid and just see what that does. I think the two colors are a little bit too similar for you to really be able to see what the difference is, but I like the way this is looking, so I do just want to go over everything again with that initial shade Punch Me. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So far I think the shadows are blending out really, really nicely. I'm really liking it so far. I don't really have any complaints. Obviously I haven't worked with any of the like pressed pigment shades, I don't think, or, you know, or any of the colors, so I can't say with 100% certainty that this palette is like the new holy grail, but the shades I am using are working very nicely. So I do want to move on to the lower lash line now. Again, going in with Punch Me, same thing we did on the top, and I'm just going to buff that into the lower lash line. Now I'm going to take a like flat definer brush, and I'll take that shade T. Focus that really tight, really close to the lash line. Going back in with the pencil brush and the shade Punch Me and just blending that all out. Just going to clean up the edges a little bit with my powder like I've been doing lately, just to kind of, you know, sharpen everything up. Now for the inner corner and brow bone, I do think I want to take the shade Ring Light, which was that, this is that like really light shimmery shade. That shade is really pretty on the inner corner. I really like that one. So I think that is it for the shadows that we'll be using. Let's move on to eyeliner, mascara. We'll put on the lip, and then that will be it for this look. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll be using my Urban Decay liner, Lash Paradise mascara, and then I will show you guys the lip after I finish with this part. Here is the eyes with mascara and liner. I'm really happy with how this look turned out. So far, I really like this palette. I know I only used like 4 shades in it, but I really do enjoy it so far. I think it's going to be super fun to play with the color in this palette, so I can't wait to do that. I'm going to be just using, I think, a gloss today because since I was sick, my lips have been so dry. So I don't want to put on a liquid lip or a regular lipstick and then have it be all cracked and butthole looking. So I'm just going to put on a gloss, which I do have a new one to show you guys. My boyfriend actually got me the Kathleenlights Twinkling Light collection with Colourpop. So I'm going to be using the gloss in the shade Etoille. I know this is the one that's in French, so I don't know exactly how to say that. I will have it listed down below. I will have everything I used, brushes, the products, all down below, so you guys can check that out. I'm just going to go ahead and put this gloss on. That added some nice color and shine to the lip, I think. Okay guys, so that completes this is the finished look with the lip and everything using the James Charles palette. I am so happy with how this look turned out. I'm actually more impressed than I thought I was going to be. I don't know why. I just was going into it thinking it would just be, you know, a normal look, which it is, but I don't know, I'm just so happy with how it turned out. I really like that brown shade called Tea. I don't know, there's just something about it that is really pretty compared to other browns I have. So far this palette is doing good. The next time you see me use this, I will definitely be doing something with the color. I'm not that great with color, so I want to step out of my comfort zone and show you guys some of the colors in this palette. So yeah guys, that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything else that I will be posting. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!